If I was born in a war-torn country, this video would not exist. Not because I would be any less motivated to make this video, but because I wouldn't have the luxury to think about anything besides my survival at all. That's what geographical luck really means in the most direct and honest way. You, the viewer, will probably watch this video from a variety of different countries in the world. That's what the internet really has done, right? Interconnected us, brought ideas closer to us. But I think it's fair to say that your life and mine are very, very different. The more different it becomes as our physical distance increases. The point is, you did not choose your nationality when you came to this world. Likewise, you did not choose your gender, ethnicity, religion, and I can go on and on. However, the most defining factor in your life is your nationality. You might fight me on this one, but this is something that was randomly assigned to you and is probably the most important thing in your life leading up to this moment. The point is, a child in Sudan and a child in Ireland will grow up and live very different lives. This is not even political, but unfortunately it is made to be political for basically blaming outsiders when the people who are in charge of making certain policies have failed and are looking for a cheap way out.
To turn Britain into a one-nation experiment in open borders.
The thing is, these countries that I'm talking about are not poor. These countries don't lack anything materially, at least. They are resource-rich countries with culture and history tracing back hundreds of years ago, if not thousands. What these countries are is exploited. These countries have no real control over their resources. If they do, then what ends up happening is that a bunch of Western countries invade them by using some silly name like Operation Jackal-ass Eagle Bird. Some of these countries are not innocent by most means and are ruled by actual corrupt dictators who live a life which is totally detached from the people below them. Psychopathic, bloodthirsty politicians who don't give a shit about the country. This is one of the obvious results of colonialism and exploitation. You become radicalized. You care about your own survival and are willing to push down everyone else around you. But still, you are a pretty bad person by all means. I'm not justifying that. The result is a low-trust, oppressive, and sensitive society on top of a country which is already deeply exploited. Some of the people might just say work hard and get out of the country, which is just stupid. It doesn't work like that. I seriously dare you to tell a child worker in Congo or Sudan to work hard so he can get a visa to Europe and live a great life there. First of all, life is not a Hollywood movie. And secondly, work hard where? The mines? The manual labor? Like, where? There is no school, no hospitals, and a child will live till like he's 35 and die from a lung disease. Now suppose he still makes it out of the country, which is a rarity because of how immigration is such a hot topic right now, right? That's a different topic. Now let's suppose the poor kid makes it out of the country, right? 90% of the time he will basically be hired to pack Amazon boxes and work for a cheap labor and still be exploited, but still, he will still take it regardless because it's miles better than working back home, right? Put yourself in his shoes for a second. You have escaped a dangerous fucking place back home and are coming to this relatively peaceful place, right? Even though you can't really build a good life packing boxes or driving Uber, it's still miles better than the place you grew up in. Mind you, the same place where they did not have a choice to be born. On top of that, he also has to deal with these crowds of people calling for his deportation, which is very funny because every single person in this crowd will do the exact same thing, and the only thing stopping that from happening was pure geographical luck, the title of this video. I'm not claiming that there's nothing wrong with mass immigration and refugee crisis. It's not natural, okay? Refugees in any ideal country or society would not exist. So what the average voter does is not question why there's a refugee crisis in the first place, but to basically deport them. They don't care about policies or international conditions, wars funded by their own governments. They don't care any of that, okay? They just want deportations. They think this will improve their lives, but results have shown like it doesn't happen. Okay, it doesn't happen. Okay, it's a scapegoat. Refugees and immigrants are scapegoats. We can talk about that in another video, right? But the thing is that it's not natural that these people are coming hundreds of miles or kilometers away from their homes to work in some country which is responsible for bombing their countries. Refugees should not exist because refugees are an unnatural phenomenon. Now, I want to get a bit personal here, okay? I'm not American, I'm not a European, I'm from the global south, and I'm personally very, very privileged in life compared to a lot of people around me. My parents invested a lot in my education, my health, and my safety, right? One of the reasons why I'm interested in journalism and, well, politics have to do with my upbringing and what I expected from my life and the world around me. I knew that life could be different, and the only thing separating me and the poor children, or anyone, right, in horrible conditions was pure luck. Total luck. We all have dreams. I don't think there's anyone out there who doesn't have a dream. It really doesn't have to do with your nationality or religion or ethnicity, but clearly the type of dream a suburban American child will have is very different from a child in Yemen or Palestine or Sudan, right? And a ton of different other countries. Some kids will wish for having a big house, with Lambos and becoming a Twitch streamer or something like that, while the rest wish for food and clean drinking water, right? And also for Americans and Israelis to stop bombing their countries to shit. The theory called the veil of ignorance was given by a political philosopher named John Rawls. It basically asks you what kind of a society you would build if you have all the necessary power in your hands. But the catch is, you must design this specific society behind something called a veil of ignorance. Meaning you don't know where you will end up in this system when you actually participate in it. You don't know what gender, ethnicity, or religion you would be born into. You could be mentally disabled, or you could grow up in the slums, if that exists in the society that we're building. Or you could also be born as one of Elon Musk's children in his harem, right? The process behind this thought experiment is that if people are truly rational and self-interested, but are ignorant of their future position, they would choose rules that are fair to everyone because they can end up like anyone, right? You can end up like anyone. You could be born disabled or poor or in really bad conditions, right? But you could also be born in a very rich family, right? But still, if you are rationalistic about this approach, then you would choose to have a society where, equality is given a lot of importance, right? But yeah, you're doing that out of pure self-interest because you don't know how or where you'll be born. What we are seeing in today's society is the consequence of decades of neoliberalism and centuries of capitalism, which is the total opposite of the thought experiment. You participate in this lottery-like system and are born in this world with what you have, which can be a lot, but the majority of the times it will be less. Because we have limited resources, it's not infinite. And that is the reality of the majority of the people alive. What about the minority of the people? They are too powerful, and they give us breadcrumbs to fight over. Immigrants, culture war, artificial intelligence, gambling, it's all controlled. They are untouchable. This video was mostly a rant. I'm just tired of the state this world is in at this moment, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are as well. Regardless of where you watch this video, right? Thank you for watching this. Regardless, I'm getting back to making more videos, so like and subscribe so I can see you guys next time. Take care.